Welcome to Viewpoint on Ukraine Today. My name is Tamara Rosovan, and we've been joined by Mr. Alexander Savsenenko. He's a Ukrainian entrepreneur who had to restart his life after leaving Donetsk. Welcome to Viewpoint.
Hi.
So let's start from the beginning. You fled Donetsk, you moved to Kiev, and then you went to the States where you started your business or continued it, and you were quite successful. So how did it all start?
So actually I was having my PhD degree in France, and after successfully completing it, I came back to Donetsk to work in the industry in Donetsk and help Donetsk region to grow. But only for 4 months I was doing it because the war started. And then I had a job offering from my long-term partners in the United States. They said, Alexander, like, the war starting, we don't know what's going to be next day, and we offer you the job in our company, just move tomorrow. We need you there.
So you grabbed your stuff and you hopped on a plane and left?
It took 2 days to do the decision, pack my bags and fly to New York. So only in 2 days I was already in New York, without having any idea how long I'm going to be there, how long is the war going to end, with my parents being left in Donetsk, and with no idea of what I'm going to do in a few months.
So are your parents still in Donetsk?
No, they were there for maybe 4 or 5 months after I left. And I was calling them every day, and every day they were telling me awful stories about bombings, something hit our house, we had a window broken. It was awful. So finally, after 5 months of talking, I convinced them to move. First they moved to Zaporozhye, where they had some friends there. And afterwards, when I moved back to Ukraine from the United States in 1 year something, I convinced them to move to Kiev, to live here, because that's the only place to be, in my opinion.
Is it quite difficult to talk about your parents and their journey from your hometown, leaving everything behind, basically?
It's awful, you know. They had a house, they had a successful established business in the city. They were living their relaxed life. They succeeded, they accomplished a lot in their lives, and they were just having their nice time. And when you are 50 plus, you know, you had to leave everything and move to a new place, start everything from scratch. It's not easy. So yeah, it's complicated to talk about that.
Okay, so then let's go back to your business.
Yeah.
You hopped on a plane, went to the States, and is your business successful there now?
Yeah, we started a company officially 5 months ago, and we have a growth each month. Now we are already 100% self-sustainable company. So, and I don't like to say that we are a startup, because we did everything in bootstrapping mode. We didn't took any money. I did everything with my own money, and now the company is successful, stable, and growing each month. So I'm pretty happy with that.
Your company has a lot to do with genetic testing?
Yeah, we do some genetic tests, new kind of tests for United States clients. But what's most important for me in this company is that the actual testing and the lab is situated in Ukraine. And the technology was developed by my Ukrainian friends and Ukrainian scientists. So by doing these kind of things in the United States, I do support the Ukrainian economy, because I have an established economical link between the United States and Ukraine. I'm paying salaries here in Ukraine, and I'm super proud that Ukrainian scientists did something which is successfully being sold in the United States. And we are developing new tests, and we're going to roll out them in the United States, in Europe, and worldwide. So
is it quite good for a business to employ Ukrainians still living here and have them do some work for you while most of the companies in the States? Or how exactly does it work?
So the samples are collected in the States, then they're shipped into Ukraine, where the actual testing is done. Then the results are uploaded into online web system, and we live in the 21st century, you know, everything's done online, basically.
But you're quite proud of employing Ukrainians here.
Yeah, I am. And using Ukrainian technology. Because Ukrainian science was abandoned for years and years and years by government. And now the the idea of taking some kind of technology, developing it into the commercial product and selling it, Ukrainian-based technology, is really great. That's a way to go for Ukrainian economy, in my opinion. But working with Ukraine while you are in US and telling your clients that the lab is in Ukraine, the strange country where the world is going, where the war is going on, and like nobody knows what kind of Ukraine is in war and what is Ukraine generally.
So you have to explain to them that it's not the whole country.
Yeah, asking for, talking to investors, asking for money sometimes, explaining clients about the lab. It's not easy. It's not easy, but we are doing that because that's a way to communicate, and it's the way to explain people about Ukraine, that it's a great place to live, to work, and it's stable, and a lot of potential there is.
What about you said you were talking about Ukrainian science. In your opinion, what stage is it at? Is it still, underdeveloped and underfunded, or is it slowly developing? What's your take on that?
I don't want to criticize Ukrainian science because I'm Ukrainian, but I would like to say honestly, it's awful. Only 3 or 4 institutions in Ukraine are really doing something meaningful in terms of scientific progress for the world. All other institutions, they're really doing things that are not useful, things that are old, things that are 20, 30 years behind the science progress. I don't know whom to blame. Underfunding, or the people, or the quality of the labs, I don't know. But there is a fact. Only few labs are doing something meaningful. All the rest are just taking government money and basically throwing them away.
But the IT sector in Ukraine is quite strong.
Oh yeah, IT is great. IT is great. Ukraine is one of the biggest IT outsource providers for the world, I suppose, maybe somewhere between India and China. So yeah, Ukraine economy is heavily dependent on the IT sector. But what I'm hearing right now from the news, a lot of IT companies are being pressed by government. They're being heavily monitored. Now the government proposes new taxes for those IT companies, and basically pretty strange situation happening with this also.
Has it been difficult, the transition from Donetsk to the US?
In terms of what, business or personality?
I think business, but also in terms of personal relations and just your take on this.
In terms of business, translation was great. Doing business in the United States is so much easier than in Ukraine. It takes a few days to open a company, it takes 1 day to open an account, it takes 1 day to hire someone. It's so super fast. You don't need many licenses, everything is done online. So after Ukrainian stuff, it was really, really easy. In terms of personal life, I don't see myself in the United States in long term.
Okay. What kind of advice would you give to people living in Donetsk who want to leave but are quite doubtful whether they can make it in other parts of Ukraine or even in other countries?
There's only one advice that can be given: just do it right away. Don't waste your time. There's nothing left in Donetsk. In my opinion, it's done. This region is dead for years and years and years, no matter what the government will do. Just move now, no matter where. It could be Kiev, it could be other parts of Ukraine, Europe, doesn't matter. You will find your new life. You will do it. My parents did it. I did it. A lot of my friends did it. You will find your new life. Just move right away. Forget this place.
Okay. Well, I'm afraid we're out of time. I'm afraid we'll have to leave on that note, but it's good advice. Thank you for joining me here.
Thank you so much.
This has been Mr. Alexander Sevstenenko, a Ukrainian entrepreneur here on Viewpoint. Thanks for watching.